Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. That's who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. Yahweh being the Father, He is. Yahweh Shai being the Son, the only begotten Son, He delivers. That's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And I want to grab a couple scriptures pertaining to some some thoughts that I have or had, and I want to look a couple things up, and just ultimately understanding, the walk, that you take when you following after the Lord, when you doing His work, and what type of things are going to befall you or come, what type of things you're going to go through, if you will, when you fall on the Lord. And one of those things is opposition or an adversary. It's just basically that force that's going to meet with the force that you coming with, to kind of counteract it. And that's ultimately how the Lord built, how He built this, and you can, when you look in within life, there's pretty much always a give and take or a push and pull type of effect that goes on with many things, when you look at, the ecosystem or the animal world, the animal kingdom, and you look at, the food chain, that pyramid is just kind of like, you got one species surviving off of another species, even within the world, or within your everyday life. It's just certain situations, certain things you go through, or certain situations you're doing. It's a push and pull type of thing, And I got the word opposition. It's just a resistance or a distant expressed in action or argument. Some of the words that are synonymous with it is resistance, hostility, enmity, antipathy, objection, distant, disapproval, criticism. So who I want to touch on and what I want to touch on is Satan and just his job. His job description is to be what is it? An adversary. That's what Satan means. To be an adversary. To pretty much steer you off of the course that you're on. To take you off the walk that you're on. I mean, it's many examples within the scriptures. He was tempted by, the Lord was, Yahweh Shai was tempted by Satan, for basically he telling him, man, I'll give you all of this. All you got to do is, bow before me. The story of Job, and a couple other situations, but just what I want to focus on is this time frame and the setting that we are in, on this side, because the scriptures tell you to pretty much, prepare that search for their fathers, or just to look at the men of old, to look at certain things that have happened in the past, and understand that, as the scripture says, is no new thing underneath the sun. So the things that the men of the Lord, were going through in the ancient world, we're going to definitely experience the same things today. Now, whether it be, you getting chastised in your dreams, or you getting your everyday walk in life, you're getting jacked up. You're getting jacked up. There's a resistance to what you're doing. There's that counteracting force that's coming up against what you're trying to do. You know, but that, I mean, ultimately, that's definitely not supposed to make you weaker. By all means, it's supposed to make you stronger, and you're supposed to be aware of that and acknowledge that. And let me get a first scripture. This is First Peter's 5. I'll just jump to the point. First Peter's 5:8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world." So, just looking at it from the spiritual aspect of it, it says, "Be sober and be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." So, with of course, who the seed of Satan is, the wicked, but of course, Esau, Edom, for the predominant most part of it, it's these so-called Caucasian people, these so-called white people, but their father, the Satan, is definitely playing his part too as well. Whether you be, like I said, if you sleep, if you're getting plagued in your dreams, if you catching hell at wherever you are at work, with your woman, just in the world period, you definitely got to be aware of that, and you definitely got to understanding what that's all about, because you could be going through something and not understand why you are going through something, but being in this truth, having that understanding, you're able to push forward. I'll say, to push forward and to get into and to put all of that upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, to have faith in the Lord that He's going to give you the strength to push through and to continue on and to be able to fight past those demons, because ultimately you got to understand that who's running the show, who's running the game, and everything that you see or everything that you go through is the approval has gone through, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It's something that's been written. It's something that it's something that you were going to go through regardless, But to fight that, to combat that is faith, and faith in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And let me get, this is Ephesians 6, and I just started 10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and in the power of His might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Because in this flesh, in this society or this kingdom, you're subject to all of the what it says, against the powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Because you got to understand the vibration that's on this world right now. is just complete darkness. It's like it's just a lot of sick things that go on here, and it's people, those people in the high places, the seed of Satan. I'm talking about these people that are that own these record labels, that own Hollywood, that are just they sitting in these high places. Those the Khazars, those Amalek, um, they so-called Jews, so-called Jewish people. They sit in these high seats and they are doing all wicked matters of things. They're just doing some all right, down, dirty stuff, man. And you want to know what? It ain't you have to be aware of those things, and you have to be conscious of those things, and realizing why the world and why people are the way that they are. See, the Sirach, the 10th chapter, so is the king or the ruler, so will be the people. So it all tumbles downhill. It's a trickle down effect. It starts up top and then it just works its way down bottom. But you having that understanding, you like through having faith in the Lord, being able to witness and pinpoint those things. So when you do go through situations with the opposition, with the adversary, you're able to combat it. You're able to place all of that, all of all of the things that you can't handle, the things that that you don't want to go through, but you got to go through. You got to take the walk. You're able to acknowledge that you can't handle it, and then you can just place it upon the Lord. All you can do is just face the east. When you by yourself, hit put your forehead to the floor and pray. When you out and about, when you walking in your day-to-day life, just constantly praying. Fasting when you can. But back to the scripture, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against rulers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." It says, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day, and having done all, to stand." It says, "Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod in the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua." Is those fiery darts, man. Like they come in all shapes, all different shapes and different sizes. Is they gonna come. They are definitely gonna come. They're gonna happen. So what the Lord is telling you, like, listen, you just have faith, man. You gotta stand up and you gotta believe in what you're doing. You gotta believe what you read. Because it ain't like without what we have, it ain't no way around it. It ain't no way around the things that we're gonna have to go through. And this is just some low level stuff, like your everyday, your day-to-day basis with certain situations and things that you go through. This is the little stuff. Because there's going to come a time, it says, "And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, above all, taking the shield of faith." Hold on. It says, no, stand, verse 14, "Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with the truth, and having the breastplate of righteousness." No, 13, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day, and having done all, to stand." Because there's going to come some times, man, like, you go through boot camp, you go through training, and that's essentially what this is. You know, this is the time, you know, to I guess to practice, so to speak. You know, to to pinpoint and to understand that, you know, that the Lord is there. You go through little situations and you're able to make it through by the grace of the, you know, Yah Bashim Yah Shai, and you're able to see that He's working in your life. He's working with you. You know, He's delivering you out of certain situations. You know, you're trusting on Him. You having faith in Him, and then He delivers you. Then it's kind of like, okay, so the, you know, the Lord is with me. You know, He is watching my back. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes that time, when that evil day comes, you know, when those bad times come, because they are coming. You know, Jacob's trouble. You know, this martial law, when that ship is, you know, pushed and pretty much made mandatory. You know, these are going to be the things. These are going to be the times that you look back at the minor or minute situation that you were in at, you know, as of now, like, okay, like this now you're going to say this is the real deal. So this is why, you know, getting this now, you know, understanding these things now, you know, just pinpointing and realizing things now, you know, getting it now, you know. That's why you know, pray, you fast, you know, you make sure you read your scriptures, you know, make sure you're doing the work, make sure you're doing what you're asked to do, you know, taking orders, you know what I'm saying. But you know, the whole point, I don't want to make this long. The whole point of the video is just understanding the opposition, the adversary, and understanding that we're going to go through things. I mean, what it seems like is, you know, is the everyday, you know, and understanding that as the scripture says, better to go to the house of mourning to the house of mirth, and this is what this walk is all about. You know, rising apart. This is not our rest. You know, this place wasn't meant to be somewhere that we could, you know, relax and you know, and enjoy ourselves. This is not the place, you know. So, you know, with that, you know, all praises to Yahweh by Shemi Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect, you know, to the sincere brethren that's pushing His word in sincerity and in truth, and just keep fighting, man. You know, we got an opposition, we got an adversary, we got enemies. You know, we have an enemy, we have enemies, and in the spiritual realm, and on this physical plane, you know. So just be aware of that and, you know, acknowledge that. So shalom.